Today I'm gonna make chicken and waffles, but I wanna make the chicken from mushroom. But first, let's do our waffle batter. So for the waffle batter, we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, pinch of salt, 1.25 cup of plant milk. I'm using Ripple. This is like a pea protein milk. It has a really nice mouthfeel. 2 tablespoons melted coconut oil, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of a vegan egg replacer. It's gonna really make it taste real. I'm using just egg. This is the one that I really like, but you can use like a flax egg, anything like that, just 2 tablespoons worth. Now all we're gonna do is just whisk this up to combine, but we're not gonna combine it that well. We're gonna leave it super chunky because my little trick is just to let this sit for a little bit while we prepare everything else. All those chunks of flour are gonna get hydrated up on their own. So let's just cover that up, set it aside, and now we're gonna work with our mushrooms. Now, I was lucky, I got these mushrooms from Florida Shroom King. He's over on Instagram, so give him a follow. I'll leave his name here. Thanks, man. These mushrooms are great. I'm really excited to use these. Now, this whole idea came about from when I made a video a few months ago where I did a mushroom chicken sandwich. And it was mushrooms that were breaded and fried, and then when they were all said and done, when it was on a sandwich, it had a nice chicken taste and texture. I mean, it was really, really great. Now that video was originally inspired by a video I saw on the Try Guys where they were trying a recipe from Cafe Gratitude or Gratitude Cafe out in California. They were the original creators of this mushroom chicken recipe that I tried. And I was just thinking about it the other night. It's like, man, I really love the whole chicken and waffles concept. I've made like a jackfruit chicken and waffles and it was delicious. I'll leave a link for that down below. But I thought, could I do a mushroom and waffles and would that still be really good? So I have a feeling it's going to be. So that's what we're gonna do now. Let's make our batter for our mushrooms to make them kind of taste like chicken and have that same texture. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with about 2 cups of your plant milk. Now we're gonna turn this into a buttermilk and kind of curd it a little bit. I'm gonna use about 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And I'm just gonna whisk this in when I do it just to make sure that it doesn't just become a curdy mess, which it actually seems pretty great. Now we're also gonna toss in some salt, black pepper, a pinch of baking soda, and a pinch of our chicken flavor broth mix. All I'm gonna do is just whisk this together, then we'll prep our mushrooms to go in here. Now this has a really interesting taste. It's kind of sour. I think that's gonna kind of help bring out some of those flavors. Now for our mushrooms, I wanna keep them in the clusters that they are in, but the mushrooms do have a little bit of like the substrate, which is like the growing medium, like what the things that they grow out of. All I wanna do is just carefully cut off that substrate. So once I got them cut and they look pretty good, they're nice and clean underneath, we're just gonna toss them in this buttermilk mixture, and we're just gonna kind of let them sit in there for a little bit. Now, normally you wouldn't really soak mushrooms. I know the mushroom guy's probably like, oh man, what are you doing? You're soaking these mushrooms. It's okay. This is gonna add some flavor and a little bit of like texture to it. It's also gonna add a little bit of like juiciness to it. So at this point, all we just wanna do is just set these aside to finish up the rest of this recipe. I mean, this whole thing goes together so quick. Hey gang, real quick, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Green Chef is a USDA certified organic company that makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every kind of lifestyle, including keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, and Mediterranean. The recipes are quick and easy to follow with step-by-step instructions, chef tips, and photos to guide you along. And one of my favorite things is Green Chef's one of the most sustainable meal kits, offsetting 100% of the plastic used in every box and 100% of their carbon footprint and emissions. And with Green Chef's wide variety of high-quality, clean ingredients, like their organic, sustainably sourced produce, you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to your table. I mean, and then look at this Green Chef meal. Every single time they nail it. They're always so good. So gang, head over to greenchef.us/SauceStache130 and use code SauceStache130 to get $130 off, plus free shipping on your first box. That's greenchef.us/SauceStache130 using code SauceStache130. That's gonna get you $130 off, plus free shipping on your first box. Green Chef, thank you so much for sending me these meals and sponsoring the videos. I absolutely love Green Chef. You all have seen me cook Green Chef dozens of times. They just get better and better. So at this point, everything is like flying together. The waffle iron's ready to go. We are going to make our waffles. We're gonna put some oil in there to make sure that they stay, they don't stick. Our waffle batter looks phenomenal. Just look at that. Now everybody's waffle maker is a little bit different. Mine takes about a half of a cup. We'll just drop that down in there. Make sure it's evenly spread out. Now let's close this guy up. I'm gonna go about a medium heat is all I really need for my thing. I have some oil on the stove that's getting hot. Once these waffles are done, we'll be able to make our dry batter and then just toss them right in, and this is all gonna be nice and hot and crispy and delicious. I really think this is gonna be good. And these waffles are coming out amazing. I mean, just absolutely amazing. The waffles are done. These look phenomenal. I'm so excited about this. I'm just gonna cover these up. I mean, they're gonna stay warm. This is only gonna take a minute. Now at this point, we're just gonna bring back in our mushrooms. They've only been sitting for a few moments. They're really nice, they're good and tender. They've been sitting in that like vegan buttermilk mixture. Now we just have an empty bowl and we're going to be making our dry batter for these. Now the dry batter, we're gonna start with a 1/4 cup of cornstarch and a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast if you have it. I'm pretty much out, but that's okay. We have almost a 1/4 cup here. Then we're just gonna do some salt, black pepper, 2 teaspoons smoked paprika, some onion powder, garlic powder, and 1 cup rice flour. We're just gonna whisk these ingredients together and make sure that it's all nice and like one mixture. Now, as far as the rice flour, not just using like an all-purpose flour batter, this is kind of like a gluten-free batter where I know the waffles aren't gluten-free. Last time I made this mushroom batter, it came out really good. The mushrooms were really nice and crispy. It had like a lot of that flavor there. I really liked it. So that's why I'm just sticking to the rice flour this time. Same thing, you know? So if you have like a gluten-free waffle, I mean, I guess I could have probably put that together, but if you have a gluten-free waffle batter that you really like, then this is gonna go together really well with that. So at this point we have our dry batter. All we're gonna do is just pick these guys up, your mushrooms. We're gonna give them a little drip, and I'm even gonna give them just a little squeeze. And then all we're gonna do is just toss them into our batter. Now I wanna make sure that when I'm doing this, that in between each one of these like ribs of mushroom here, that there's some of this batter in here. Just wanna make sure that these are nice and coated thoroughly. And I thought it would work great if we threw them right back into the wet batter, then right back into the dry batter. Get them a nice double batter. Let them sit on their rack for just a moment, get that oil up nice and hot, toss them in, fry these until they're golden brown. Look at the way these things are frying, oh my God, that's amazing. Let's just top them off on the waffles. The waffles are killer. Little bit of powdered sugar. We gotta get that sweetness in. Maple syrup on top. You have yourself some chicken and waffles, but the chicken is mushroom. This is unbelievable, baby. What do you think?
I'm stoked. I'm so excited to try this.
I mean, look at these, baby. I got a little steak knife out because these mushrooms are gonna be meaty.
Okay.
Meaty, meaty, meaty. Go ahead, you don't have any syrup on yours. You need to get some maple syrup. I have some maple syrup ready to go. I'm excited. I mean, just look at this.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
I mean, this looks
Do you
good,
need
right?
some, or
No,
you
I
good?
have some maple syrup
Okay.
already.
So just dig in?
Yeah, I'm just gonna dig in. So I'm gonna make sure that I get a mushroom bite and a waffle bite. So, right off the bat, the double breading on these was probably unnecessary because it is making them super crispy. I mean, that is like an armored shell on top of these mushrooms.
Okay, let me try it.
Giant bite of mushroom and waffle.
Okay.
Here we go. Cheers. My God. Wait until you try this.
Okay.
You guys didn't get the fantastic angle that I just got of Monica shoving the mushroom into her mouth. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was hard to do that.
It was.
That was good. This is really good.
Really good, right? Like I wouldn't think that this was chicken, or I wouldn't think that, I honestly wouldn't think that this was, you are just struggling so hard with this dish. I wouldn't honestly think that this was mushrooms and waffles. It does have the consistency, the look, the feel of chicken and waffles. I mean, it's just delicious.
I wouldn't know this is mushrooms. That's just really good.
Yeah.
I can tell you it doesn't really taste mushroomy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's one of the first times that like I've had a dish that's mushroomy that I don't necessarily have a huge mushroom taste. It's one of your best. Like, it's so good.
yeah, I mean,
I'm so glad you made this.
yeah, me too. This was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I'll leave a link to the chicken sandwich, but the chicken is mushroom video right here. It's gonna be like in between us. They're not gonna see your hand. The video is gonna be right here.